And
hey Gina, how are you? You good? We can't hear
can
you.
you hear you?
We can't
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you. Why?
Somehow you need to unmute yourself.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Now you can. Okay.
Yes.
I'm saying that I'm sitting in a coffee shop here because it's our last day of not being locked down again. So we are on lockdown from Thursday again.
Yeah, I just spoke actually with a friend of mine living in London. He said from Thursday everything goes completely locked down, right? Only how is it pharmacies,
Yes.
hotels, hospitals and supermarkets can stay open, right?
Yes,
Great.
exactly, guys. And I
Great.
missed last week webinar because the time here moved. Like we had a
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
Different
exactly.
time zone. That's all right, but actually
Exactly.
for your information, because you're not on our mailing list, we just send out now new emails, and we are basically gonna have it instead of every week, every 2 weeks. We will have still on the Sunday, still at 7 o'clock, but every 2 weeks from now on, we will have the webinar.
With
Okay,
specific titles with what we're gonna discuss about.
Yeah, so we will send out. So maybe if you're interested, just send me your email and I will put you on that list. We don't send out many emails because it's on our members list. So it's just when there's some changes, we inform you there, so you will be informed. And yeah, basically we want to structure it. So instead of just showing up and talking a little bit about what is happening, then we will make a complete plan and make sure that we really make some progress in all of you, right? So you can actually go from A to B and not just get inspiration and then let it go, but actually move the needle further. So
perfect.
yes.
Perfect, guys. Because now I'm with the e-commerce and I am planning to build my affiliate business only with your training because I can't really do too many other trainings. So this is amazing for me. This is super perfect.
Very good. Happy to hear that. So we will basically, anything you need help with, send us messages or just show up on the webinars and stuff, and we will be happy to help you for sure. Would be nice.
Yes. So without any further to say, let's jump directly into the subject of the day, which, as we mentioned, is basically the long ad version, YouTube ad. And let's briefly recap, because structure is very similar to the small one, but we're going to have different, let's say, time frame. And there is one important subject included in the video, which is the story. Now, the frame line, you should consider that way. It's this I remember, I just want to mention that these are only guided time frame. But
it's not by the second, right? It's not right or wrong. It's just
a guidance on what you should look up for.
Yes.
And as we started with the previous one, we always have the 5-second hook, 5-second hook, until they can basically skip it. And this is very important to catch them and with a bold statement or something that really is hitting them, and say, oh, real, maybe let me listen to that video. What do you have to say?
I think hitting their interest without offending, right?
Yeah.
Like you can share a statement, you can share a question, but it's basically to let people not skip. So it has to be catching but not offending.
Yes, and you can see on all your phone or laptop, when you're browsing around, you can see what those advertisers are doing to your device. So you can actually see how is the strategy and see if there is many things that does relate with what we are saying. And so 5 seconds is the first one. Second is a big promise. So it's the same thing, is that from 30 to 45 seconds. And as we mentioned in the previous lecture, it was about what do you offer and what do you actually promise through your own let's say solution to their problem. In specifically, what you are telling them that your product can really help them to moving forward and change their life. And yeah,
basically how your product is going to solve their problems, right? So this is what's the big promise. It's very, very important to not be fake here and not over promise, because we can't.
Yeah.
But actually I'm just gonna how to say, talk against myself for a second, because I was reading this book from Grant Cardone, and he was saying over promise and then over deliver. So you can do that as well, but you have to over deliver them. So what I mean is that yes, you can over promise, you can really say how you can change people's life, but then you really need to also give so much value and give so much attention to every little detail and everything once they're like opt into your email list. What I don't want you to do is don't create statements like promise that they will earn X amount of money, because you can't promise that. Like, it's just how life is. You can't say to them, if you give me your email, you will have 20,000 in your bank account tomorrow. I mean, it's just fake, right? So over promise, but still keep it authentic, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we come to the point, to the call to action. And call to action is the 10-second long, and it's very simple. Just mention what they have to do. Like, they have never moved a finger on their computer or phone. So really specifically say, here down below, you can find the blue button where it says learn more, and you will be directed to my website, and give me your contact details, and I will send the ebook straight to your inbox, for example. That could be a call to action. Sweet and short, straight to the point, and you're good to go.
Almost like, sorry, almost like if you're speaking to a child, right? So just tell them directly what to do. So click this, write your contact details, you will receive this, this, and this. So very, like David said, straightforward.
Yeah.
Nothing like where they are not really understand, like just direction to what they should do.
When it comes to editing, also you can highlight those actions with some emoji or some arrows that they are pointing more specifically within the area where the button will actually be placed. So that could be also something that will visually affect the people looking at it. So it's also something that could be a potential help. And this you can basically copy and paste in every call to action you might have in the video. So moving forward, it comes here in the new section, which is from 30 to 60 seconds, where we're talking about story. And when we're talking about story, basically, let me see here where it was. Yes, we need to, there is two elements that start to play the role here. And what they are is the pain and the desire. And the pain is a question that you need to ask yourself. What must they feel in order to be motivated to make the change? And their desire is, what must they feel in order to be motivated through the fear or the false beliefs? So those two questions are really, let's say, at the first attempt, and then you can actually narrow down and go on a deeper level with so much more. But
I think it's quite interesting this, that if you listen to these two questions that we just said now, is about what must they feel. So when you're thinking about this, it's not actually how much, like, it's not what you say, but it's how you say it and how it makes them feel, and then which mood you want your viewer to, or you can say customer, which mood you want them to be in, so that they will take so that they will click the link basically, or they will opt into your email list. Yeah. So it's really important, this part of it, because when you know how you want your viewer to feel, you can create a story which makes them in that mood. Yeah, so for example, if you want them to be like more in pain and really feeling, I'm not so sure if I can say the right English words, but basically if you let them feel, oh my God, I really absolutely hate my job, whatever, if this is your avatar, and I basically what you need them to say is pain points around the job to make them feel that pain themselves, to make them in that mood so that they will opt in. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but basically make sure to make your listener feel a certain way, because we always act on moods, right? How do we feel? And then we act regarding to how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one pain,
weird,
an example could be the pain that, if we relate it to health and fitness, is they really hate to keep themselves fit and not be able to eat what they really like or they really love to eat, right? There's so many people that believe that a diet is consisting only on salad, and it's not a true thing. It's so what you're doing as a marketer, you're actually reframe those limiting beliefs that they might have built up through their life, where they think that first thing you need to eliminate in your diet is carbs. That's absolutely wrong, right? So in a way, when it comes to to also limiting beliefs, there is so many things that you need to reframe in order to connect to their pain and their desire. Because if we come from a point of pain where, let's say, my pain that I have no idea, I've tried everything, but I cannot lose weight. I cannot literally lose weight, and I cannot reach the form that I really want to be in, right? So this is a potential pain that I have. And why is that? Is because I've tried everything, and I believe that all you need to do in order to lose weight really is to give up carbs to lose weight. But let me tell you, you can eat carbs daily as long as you do this. Put in the numbers and the calories that you need, and you will lose weight, regardless if you eat carbs, protein, or wherever you like, fats. So it is actually something that you need to recreate these false beliefs that they have been building, and you do that through your own personal knowledge. So you must know what does it take in order to lose weight. You should have been trying on yourself. Now I'm going to share this with you. It's because we have tried our own for many years to keep on stay healthy and in a way, let's say, skinny enough that we can look good when we perform. Now there is many different way of being skinny, and you can one of the things that we were doing is to just eliminate, cut down. Guess what? Cut down is not healthy for your body. In the long run, you will gonna have problems and come down the road, right? Whatever it is, but there is so many factors that will influence your own health, general health, when you are actually don't provide the right calories to your body. So we have invested in our own health and fitness, and we start to actually study what is good, what is bad, what our body needs, how much we move, and therefore we start to take choices, different choices in terms of food. We know now which type of food we wanted, how much we need to eat, and we know that if we want to eat a pizza, we're just a matter of planning in. So I know that tonight, I'm going to go out with friends and eat the pizza, right? That's a true reality. That's a true story. My lunch and my breakfast has been a little bit lighter so that I can afford to eat that pizza tonight. But my weight tomorrow is not going to be 5 kilos, for example. So this is a short story of how you can actually move from the pain into their desire and trying to actually reframe their limiting beliefs. And
so basically this story is can be your story, can also be a story about another person. So in one of our ads, we did, or David did, talk about his father, for example, in one of his stories. And this is also possible, right? So if it hasn't been happening to you, you can most definitely use a third person. Tell their story. Say, my father, he went through this and this and this, and I'm doing everything I can to not be in that situation. Because his avatar is in that situation, right? So the story doesn't have to be you, can be a third person, but it most definitely has to make your viewer feel like motivated and want to make the change, or that bad about himself that he wants to make the change. And then, like David said, destroy the false beliefs. His whole CAP story was about destroying the belief system that the viewer has had or has created throughout the years that stops them from taking action. Yeah. So it's like this thing about giving up carbs to lose weight. That might be a false belief that a person has, and that's why the person has stopped taking action in order to lose weight because of that, right? Because of that belief. So this is very important to incorporate into the story, and it's only 30 seconds to 1 minute that you have to create, like, to talk about the story.
It's quite short.
It's quite short, so try to be pretty strict about, first you write down the story, I would say, and then after that you start eliminating what you actually don't need in there. So it's really, we had, for example, one ad that first we wrote down, and then we just saw that actually we were repeating ourselves a few times. So out with that, all of it, because it just gets too long and people don't want to listen to you blah 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 like this all the time. Especially in the ad, because it's the first time they see you, right? So try to make it half a minute to 1 minute long, and including those things.
And there is many different way on how you can share your story. For example, to people that start to see your ad for the first time, and then potentially you can use those marketing skills where you are actually retargeting them. And in the retargeting video, you can actually continue the story. So if you can potentially, ideally, you can start with one story on one video where you're actually just informing them, but your call to action that you want them to actually subscribe for and receive whatever you want to give to them, then you can potentially do through a remarketing. So you are continuing the story. They have remember you sharing with them that story, and automatically see the pattern going into that direction until you ask them for sharing with you their contacts. And there is so many different ways of doing so. You can even continue the story in the thank you page. So people who are really interested in the thank you page, you can get a little longer, where you get 3 to 4 minutes.
This is very natural, right? Just think about it. How would you do with the person that you first meet? You wouldn't go in and tell your dark secret in the first time you meet someone, right? You would say hi, and then you would say maybe what you do for a living, blah blah blah. And then later on the second date, then you would maybe start talking about your childhood, where you grew up, whatever, you know. So it's like you slowly get to know each other. It's just like, it's not like hello, and then you share everything on the first date, right? So it's the same thing in the ad, basically, because it's a person that you never met before. So just think about it as if it was in real life.
Yeah, and it's very, very powerful. And I remember that when it comes to actually sharing a story, and let's say potentially there are marketers that they use other story that they have never experienced themselves. And this, I find that in my experience, very hard sometimes to actually share it through emotion, through something that I never felt. So I like to keep in reference to what I have experienced in my life. And they might have successful results, those people who actually test the other people's story, and that can be related to them, because let's face it, we are all different. And if, for example, a single father is actually having a product that want to sell to families, that they have a father with a son, right? let's say you want to share, you want to, as a product, probably you want to share something about investment in properties. And if you want to share this investment in properties and you really want to touch into the pain to a father with a child that wants somehow to secure his life and give a better life to his son, he's not necessarily have felt that story and never will if he want to be a single father forever. So how can you actually become a good marketer like this? About learning how to share a great story. And these are skills that you can learn, but I personally like to share something that I have experienced myself, that I can really put true emotion into it, right? But you are free to actually do however you like it. There is no right or wrong. And that's why it's also beautiful marketing, that you can do whatever your mind can even create an imaginary story that you want to share. You just test it and see how people react, because they are the answer. Basically, it's not me, anyone else can tell you the answer except the market. And this is the potential here. Now next one, so this is a 30 to 60 second, right? Next one, call to action again, 10 second. You repeat exactly same, you might vary some words, but same process, easy, 10 second. And for example, you're talking about the story and then say, and here's why I really encourage you to click on the button below, learn more, and go on my website and give me your contact details, for example. And then you carry on. After 10 second call to action, benefits without benefits, 55 seconds to 120, right? That is powerful. Benefits, and as I mentioned in the previous videos, without benefits, right? And as we all remember, what is a benefit without a benefit, right? And if I can make an example, and what is about,
it's about feature. I call it benefit
without feature. Yeah. So make an example for it. So just
make an example.
Now let's picture. Let me think about, because last time I made an example with health and fitness.
Yeah, it's very similar to this thing about the limiting beliefs.
Yeah, right? So I can lose weight. You can lose weight.
You always talk about losing weight.
Well, you can gain weight by eating 5 pizzas a day. For sure, you can gain weight.
So basically, it's about limiting beliefs. So it's about destroying the limiting beliefs again, basically. So what you're saying is that, for example, when creating an online business, you don't have to spend, 10 hours a day creating it.
Yeah.
You know? Or you don't have to. You can create an online business, but with only a few dollars a month, or you don't have to invest thousands of dollars, or you don't have to, you don't have to have tech skills, in order to start a business.
When you start a business,
the way how
when you start a business, many people believe that it does take a strong capital to invest upfront. In general,
I feel that so many people, the word investment and the word business, it scares so many people. You know, they think about oh my God, I have to have a whole business. Because they're thinking about traditional business, right? Oh my God, I have to have an account, and I have to have an office. I have to have all of these things. And they think, oh my God, it's too much responsibility. I don't want it. I want the freedom, but I don't want all the responsibility. So basically, in this case, you can say to them, okay, fine, you can start an online business without having to spend money on office and having people working for you and all of these things. You can run it from your own living room if you want, stuff like that. So you can have it. This is what it's about.
Yeah, the benefit without benefit. You don't have to train 5 hours a day in a gym if you want to have a 6-pack abs.
Yeah.
You just need to change your diet, for example.
Yeah.
And so there's so many things that will be influencing that benefit in relation to your product and service that you are offering. And last 10 seconds, again, call to action, very simple. So this video basically is about 2 to 5 minutes range.
It's a big range, huh?
Yeah, I have tried to do the short one within 1.5 minutes, but believe it or not, it's 4 minutes. So
our short version is 4 minutes.
Version is 4 minutes.
Our long version is like 7.
But I do appreciate those one who are very short, because they really get. I understand why they nail the point. They go straight on, and people either are interested, either not. Very, very simple. So I'm trying to learn how to narrow down my story and make it clear to the point, but very short. Just few highlights that might be important for the customer, potential customer, to listen and there take a choice from there, right? So basically this is the.
So actually the biggest difference, sorry to interrupt you, the biggest difference between the two is actually the story part, and then in the long version you're having 3 call to actions. You could have 2, but try to put in 3. And in the short version you only have 1, right? Call to action in the end of it. And in the story. So that's basically the difference between the two of them. So
this is 3 and the other one is 2.
Yeah.
In the short one.
You mean call to actions?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 1.
No, 2. So
yeah.
Basically this is the one that is long and short. I mentioned already. You need to try to test both. There is no right or wrong. There is people who react better in relation to your product in short one. For example, a short video already, this is for you to test it, and can either work both way. It really depends what is your solution to their problem. Because if they want to know a little bit more about, then maybe people are skeptical and they start to listen more to the long one. But people who are already very, very on fire and ready to take action on your short one, they are good to go and become a strong potential customer. So it's worth it to test both. In my current campaign, I have tested the long one, and I'm now testing a short one. And so far, the short one is performing better than the long one. But
the short version is still 4 minutes.
Yeah, short version is still 4 minutes. So it's still quite long.
But it's just a short structure.
Yeah, compare. So you got to test and see what the numbers will tell you. And later down the road, we will go through numbers too. And I'm going to share some example on how you can actually look at the numbers if you're willing to use YouTube and let's say Google as well.
Yeah, bear in mind that this is basically for YouTube. If you are advertising on Facebook, it's a completely different structure of videos.
Yeah.
So remember that when we talked about in the beginning, we talked about avatars and stuff like this. It's very, very important to narrow down also which platform you're going to use, because based on where you think that your customer or your customer avatar is spending more time. Because I think it's incredibly important to understand the different usage of the different platforms. Because I tried with my bachata business, I created my whole ad for YouTube, and I basically just wanted to reuse it into Facebook, and it's a failure. Definitely don't do that mistake. It does not work. So Facebook and YouTube are 2 completely different platforms, and please do market differently on the 2 platforms. I can just quickly say to you that if you are wanting to go to Facebook, we can go into it and we can cover it. But quickly, the biggest difference is that Facebook is basically you scroll, right? So there is not the user is not required to watch your ad, whereas in YouTube you have to watch the first 5 seconds before they can skip you. In YouTube they can just scroll. In Facebook they can just scroll, right? So they cannot stop, right? So they just continue scrolling.
And you pay anyway.
Right? So you must really grab their
attention
right away, and it's with much more visuals, and it's with big statements like written, because so many people watch without sound. Yeah, whereas in YouTube people watch with sound. In Facebook, most of the people, at least I also don't.
Yeah.
Right, so you scroll. It's only if you see some big flash or something that comes up, and then you actually stop, and then that's where your client would actually watch.
Yeah. And the power of YouTube is that, yes, it's more costly, but it's more efficient in terms of acquiring the right customer, because you have 5 seconds where you get attention, and you only pay after 30 seconds they have been watching your videos, and if they have been clicking on your call to action.
Or if they click.
Or if they click on your call to action. So it is a total different platform, and they are ready to watch longer videos. Yeah. They go YouTube, there is no short 30-second videos ever. At least
you can't even upload, isn't it?
I don't know. There's a minimum requirement, maybe.
Whereas in Facebook, it's very short videos, right? So
totally different.
So just really bear in mind that before you even start scripting or thinking about an ad, make sure you have your customer avatar, make sure you have your chosen platform before you start even scripting, because otherwise it's just a waste of time. And remember, spend your time wisely. Don't spend it on stuff which you don't need. Spend it on stuff that really can move the needle further. And
it's a massive job. Remember to grow your list now that Jenna, London is going again into lockdown. Organize yourself.
On your behalf, actually, it's positive, right?
It's a positive because you get a bit more time. The downside, we always know bank accounts offer. We all know, but we're trying to do our best to re-educate ourselves and trying to boost something that we perhaps we slow it down or put a standby because of make a living, right? So make sure that we take action in the time we have available, and those actions are specifically in growing your list slowly and build your website. So put yourself out there in the game and start testing, because you learn only by doing.
Yeah, and I can say to you about growing the list. For me, it was a bit out of the comfort zone to ask people for an email when I had nothing to give them, nothing whatsoever. I was thinking, what am I going to send to people? And we didn't for a long time send anything. But we did start already, but let's say now we're really understanding the value of the list, and understanding that actually all these people that came in, we didn't nurture them, right? So we just took it a little bit for granted. But we see the difference when we do nurture our list, and when we do actually take care of the customers that we already had in. Then it's really a huge difference in the bottom line of your business. So really nurturing your list, and even if you don't know what to send them at the beginning, it's okay. Just require all the emails. At least you have a bucket there, which is yours, right? So you do have some eyeballs where when you are ready to send them something, you can, yeah. So even if you're not, even if you don't have anything and you're just creating your website, create a sign-up form on your website anyway. Because even if there's 10 people coming in within the next month, which is almost nothing, but even if those 10 people they sign up, at least you have 10 people that you can send emails to, right? So it doesn't matter that you don't have anything to send them at the moment, but just start collecting, because you will need them further down the line.
Yeah, it is very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important. And as you all know, Aweba is the platform that we use, but you can go and Google and search for whatever. There's many that they offer this service, and now Aweba has got also the 500 leads, the first 500 leads free.
For free, yeah.
This is a massive help. 500 is a big number. When we first reached 100, we were like, whoa, a party time. So it is really a good number to start with and test. That's the thing, because you can test without having expenses on your behalf. So it's very important to actually have a look on those free platforms what do they offer and how they can cooperate with your own website. so that you can get easy communication between, right? So guys, that's it for today.
I think
Done.
pretty much.
Done.
So that's basically the setup of the long video ad. I think 2 weeks from now we are gonna go into the thank you page video, right?
I guess
I
I need to
think
see the order.
Yeah.
I will
so
inform
the
everyone
next step, we will
in
send
the
it
email.
through in the emails anyway, so you will get the plan of the day. And if, of course, if you have any questions about what we shared today, or if you've even tried to script or do something, send
Feel
it
free to
us,
share.
or
Yes.
share it in the webinar. That would be super
And
cool,
thank you,
actually.
Rico, for being voluntarious. No,
Yeah.
voluntary. Yeah. I'm gonna have soon you as a guide for other people and share your idea and your project and how you get along so far. Okay.
Gina, do you have any questions for now? No. All
Good.
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 I can't imagine. Wow. I thought we were so unclear today, but apparently we were clear enough. That's good. Cool.
Okay, guys. So I wish a great Sunday, everyone, a great weekend, and stay safe.
And no, actually, we have to say a great 2 weeks, right? Because
yeah, we see you in 14 days.
14 days.
So, guys.
So enjoy your lockdown.
Yeah.
And I hope
take the
have
best
a
out
long
of it.
time. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye and have a nice day. Take care.
Bye.